as well. Largely the reason that President Trump probably hasn't had as big an impact as he would have desired is just because those market forces are now just they're operating. And when utilities are looking at like, what am I going to invest in? Am I going to invest in a coal-fired power plant like Connor was talking about? Am I going to invest in a gas-fired power plant? Well, why would I do those things? Solar and wind are just the cheaper option now. And so to some degree, it's maybe like the uptake of those technologies has slowed down because of Trump's actions, but not the overall trend. And so maybe I'll let David jump in.
Yeah, I agree with almost all of that, and I think that
It'd be a
was.
shock if you agreed with it all.
I have a don't worry, I have a critique coming. Um, uh, and I think that really was the story until 6 months ago or so, maybe a little longer. It kind of bleeds together. The Because in general, yes, that is true. Like renewables, batteries are by far the cheapest. They make the most economic sense. Like the largest year of renewable deployment ever was 2025, which is in the midst of Trump rolling everything back, and the expectation is 2026 will still be a bigger year still, despite pulling it back. Something like it changed. It's hard to get the exact number here, but it's like 80 to 90% of the energy projects in the queue to be built in the U.S. alone, let alone the rest of the world, are solar and wind or batteries. So it's absolutely dominating. The complication is AI and data centers,
Yeah.
which are now coming in and expected to use a just staggering amount of electricity. And so all of these new renewables that we're planning on coming online to replace existing fossil or retiring fossil assets now are need to come on just to keep up with the power demand that these data centers are requiring. Meanwhile, it's not just about the electricity generation side; it's about how you actually get that generation to people and businesses and industry, which is through the poles that you see outside, our transmission and distribution wires, also known as the grid. And our grid is really out of date. We're not investing in it for a whole host of reasons that we don't have time to get into now. We're not investing in it. We have not been investing in it in the way that it needs to be, and it's a very old machine. If you think about it, in some ways, it's kind of the biggest machine on earth to some extent. That we haven't been putting enough money into to keep it up, and let alone to keep up for all this demand. So all these data centers are stymied in trying to connect to the grid, and meanwhile the AI race is just ramping up and ramping up, and so like, we need the data center now to power all of our stuff, and so they're trying to figure out what is the fastest way to bring power, not necessarily the cheapest, but the fastest way. It so happens that's also solar and wind, thank God. But some of them are still trying to figure out, because of this administration, like natural gas, new natural gas plants, for instance. There's a big rise now in trying nuclear, if that's going to be salvation. None of those are faster than solar and wind and batteries in getting connected. So the story is more complicated than it was because of this new thing that like no one saw coming to this extent 2 years ago, 1 year ago, even a matter of months ago.
I mean, one of the things it seems, I'll go to Connor in a second. I mean, one of the things on the AI thing I mean, I think the immediacy of that issue, it could, one of the things that could offset that, and I've read stuff on this, is that if we do the thing that you're talking about, and maybe we'll get more into this in sort of like what you might be looking for from a candidate running for president in 2028, is if we did actually upgrade our grid, if we took that really seriously, the AI could be an amazing tool.
Yes.
if we had an upgraded, if we had localized smart grids, if we had long distance, high voltage, direct current power, so if we had those things, the AI could like probably more than pay for itself in managing those things. But like, how do you get from here to there? I think is kind of a big
Yeah,
issue.
one of the best use cases of AI is actually to make our grid do a better job at allowing more AI to come on. It's a little bit of a
Yeah.
snake eats its own tail.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Connor, one of the things you said, and it occurred to me that like at a statewide level, this really applies to this kind of conversation. Is You were talking to sort of the sort of political currents in Colorado, and you talked about how some.
And so I spent
will do well and the countries that will do well are the ones that are proactive and innovative in that way.
Yeah, super, super. Yeah, interesting. Thanks for bringing up the fire stuff. Yeah, big miss on my part, not sort of thinking about that from a Colorado perspective.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this is just for both. And you'd think, yeah, you would think that they would be pushing back more than they have. But yeah, the fear, I guess, is still there. David, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, pick up on two things Connor said. One during this and one earlier. You're saying earlier, Connor, that when you want to run and talk to certain communities, like you wouldn't always necessarily lead with a climate argument, right? Like you talk about one of the other ways into the space that that would resonate more with the people you're talking about. Like climate, unfortunately, has become a polarized word, and that's something we're very aware of at the federal level.